yo, and hello, and welcome to the 81st episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free every Wednesday in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast directories, and in video format on YouTube, so you can see us in stunning HD. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can listen to episodes, subscribe for behind-the-scenes news, read radical articles, and buy some sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, Jamal Aljaafreh, alongside Brent Bass.
What's up, guys?
Mijo.
Mini mijo.
Mijo. Okay, but anyways, what's been up, dude?
Not much, man. I bought a $2 scratch off on the way up here, and I won $15.
Damn, dude. See, that's that Mario Party bitch luck I've been saying that you got. Like, nobody just goes and, like, buys a $2 scratch. How many $2 scratch offs have you bought in this past week, though?
2.
The first one?
Well, I bought them both at the same time, like earlier.
Oh, okay. So you spent
I did
$4.
I did spend $4. I'll admit. I spent
so
$4.
So you gained 11.
But I
though.
will say this: I went in there and I bought a bag of cashews and 2 energy drinks, and then those 2 lottery tickets. And
that doesn't count as spending, though.
And
that's
I came
more
out.
like,
yeah, that's necessities. But I came out with more money than I came in with. So
that's what I'm talking about.
So that's okay, right?
Yeah, you risked it. And you got the biscuit.
I did.
$11 biscuit. But anyways, yeah, that's good to hear, man. That's good to hear.
What's going on in your world?
I was just trying to think of things to say that like there's nothing. My week has been like there is stuff, but I have to talk about it later, like game wise, stuff like that. So outside of that, it's just been work and doing things, big things.
Man, I figured out that there's a whole season of Luke Cage that I missed on Netflix, so I've been watching that this week.
I was trying to think. Oh, I finished Maniac, by the way.
Oh yeah, me too.
It was good.
You liked it?
It was good. Like, I have no fucking idea what to call it. Like a rom-com,
psychological thriller. Like, it was a lot of weird genres mixed together. Like.
It really was. It was just a bunch of random shit, and but by the end, like, you don't really know if it was real or not. Like, that's the thing, is like I don't know if it actually
has to have been real, because they both experienced it, unless she was entirely made up. But she had too much of a backstory.
Which is, I'm thinking she was entirely made up, because remember, the lady was like, "Are you sure this person existed?"
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, "I don't know," and then she shows up. And somehow...
But they explain that because, she said that she did the modeling for the agency, which is, you've even done that before, Yeah,
so but I'm not talking about that. How she showed up at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's actually in the place. I don't want to say what the place is or what I'm alluding to, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the person there is like, "Are you sure that happened?" And then she shows up and saves him.
I don't know, man. I think it's the real deal. That's my takeaway from that. I feel like it really happened.
I feel like
it wants you to think for a minute that it didn't, but
I just couldn't tell, especially at the very, very end, whenever they're driving, and then you see the fucking the shitty robot trailing behind them and shit.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that.
I was like, and the hawk. You see the fucking hawk, bro. And it's riding the shit robot.
I didn't notice that at all.
So I was like, oh, fuck.
Okay.
But I don't know. I say we come back to that in a couple weeks when everybody's had time to watch it, and we just spoil the fuck out of it.
Yeah, that was a really interesting show. Everybody should go watch that if you haven't already.
Yeah, and... I believe someone was saying we should just start giving our thoughts on movies, having a movie club type situation where every week we just talk shit about a movie And I'm so down for that.
I'm also down for that. We should have the people assign us movies to watch.
Yeah, if you're watching this, go to Facebook or our Facebook group, or go on. I mean, if you're watching it on YouTube, then just type it as a comment. But give us a movie to watch. We'll watch it. We'll come back and tell you our honest thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Probably like, it sucks.
Worst movie ever.
But anyways, let's jump into the news, man. The video game news.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Well, before we jump in, I just got to let everyone know we are using articles from gaming news sites from around the web. We do not claim any of the material as our own. We are simply giving commentary on these articles. We're going to start it off with Capcom. Capcom brought Resident Evil 7 to Nintendo Switch in Japan as a streaming-only game.
They did that.
Yep.
They did do that.
Now, this seems to have been an experiment of sorts, as the Japanese publisher is now apparently considering bringing some of its other games to Switch in cloud form in Japan.
I'll be damned.
Yeah,
they need to do that in America.
Yeah, I don't really understand
why would they only do it in Japan? I mean, don't you have to pay for it, right? Wouldn't it make sense to do it everywhere so they make more money?
I don't know. Maybe just not enough people in America. Wait, there's no answer.
Maybe they're worried that people in America aren't going to have fast enough internet to stream it in some places of America.
But
you know
even
what I
then,
mean?
you'd still have more.
Because you're going to have a pretty fast internet connection to stream a game like Resident Evil 7. Or Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I think they're going to do pretty soon.
Yeah, I got some news on that. Do you got it? You got that?
No.
Well, we might as well jump into that since it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Streaming. Hold on, guys. I'm almost there. Okay, Google has enlisted the Assassin's Guild to help with its experiments into streaming tech. The search and advertising giant has announced Project Stream, a technical test meant to push the limits of its streaming capabilities. To put it through its paces, it will be using Assassin's Creed Odyssey upon release on October 5th. According to the announcement, a limited number of users will be able to play Odyssey at no charge using their Chrome browser. The point of the test is to deliver the game at a high graphical fidelity with low latency. Players interested in helping tests can apply through the official website. Google notes that you must be age 17 or older and have an internet connection capable of 25 megabits per second, which actually isn't that bad.
Yeah.
You also must be a resident of the USA or USA. You'll also need a Google account, an Ubisoft account, and the Chrome browser installed. For obvious reasons, you'll also need a controller or mouse and keyboard to play.
Well, PlayStation Now has made me a total believer of like streaming games, so I know it's possible, and I know it can be done in decent quality, So I feel like, it's going to be cool once they get this up and running. But I feel like this is going to be a computer-only thing for a while.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Let's see what we got here on the list. Sorry. Okay, PlayStation won't be holding its annual PlayStation Experience event this year. Worldwide Studios head Shawn Layden has confirmed. He said that the company reached the difficult decision based on where it currently stands on several projects and didn't want to set expectations for a high-profile media event like PSX without much to show. He said, we won't have it in the States this year, Layden said on the PlayStation blogcast. Now we have Spider-Man out the door. We're looking down into 2019 games like Dreams and Days Gone. But we wouldn't have enough to bring people all together in North America to have that event. We don't want to set expectations really high and then not deliver on that. It was a hard decision, but we have determined that this year we will not hold the PlayStation Experience.
Yeah,
which makes sense. They probably just don't want to show off the same handful of games they've showed off at E3 and shit all over again. There's only so many times you can show us The Last of Us 2 and, whatever else,
Yeah, and I saw, in place of this, not it has nothing to do with PlayStation, but, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny Games, or Kinda Funny in general, actually posted on Twitter and was like, we'll hold our own conference or whatever. And they're like a podcast media YouTube like group of guys and a girl. It's like 5 or 6 people, but they're like doing an actual conference, and like a bunch of like indie developers and stuff have like already tried to get a spot on their conference.
Oh, cool.
Just out of nowhere.
Hey, maybe it'll blow up and become like an annual big thing, you know?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. That takes like the whole media thing to the next level.
I mean,
he was
look
just
how
like,
small
we'll fucking
like
do it.
QuakeCon started, you know, and what it is now, you know?
Definitely.
I mean, it could definitely happen.
It's cool.
Let's see. Oh, wait, is it your turn? Yeah, it's your turn.
So, through Fortnite, console crossplay between Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo is finally possible.
Ayo.
SIE Worldwide Studios chairman Shawn Layden has provided additional background on why Sony changed its mind in regards to console crossplay, and has also revealed PlayStation 4's future with crossplay after Fortnite. In episode 308 of PlayStation Blogcast, Layden says that despite Sony's public stance against consoles crossplay, the company has apparently been considering it for a while. Quote, "This is something that has been taking up about 65% of my Twitter feed over the last few months," Layden said. "Now enabling crossplay isn't as simple as flipping a switch, and there you go. It's a very multi-dimensional attribute or feature."
Except for that time Fortnite accidentally flipped a switch and enabled crossplay.
See, I think...
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what he's talking about, so like right here he talks about it wanted to... Sony has, according to Layden, Sony has taken so long to reveal console crossplay because it wanted to make sure the feature would even be feasible. The company has been checking to make sure the infrastructure for customer support and in-game messaging would work with other systems, as well as getting the okay from partners.
Oh, okay. That
Quote,
makes sense.
"It's taken us longer than I would have wanted," Layden admits, but he adds that he thinks it worked out for the best to announce Sony's new stance on console crossplay and the start of the Fortnite crossplay beta at the same time. Layden ended the discussion by reiterating that Sony is approaching the concept of console crossplay as a beta. "Right now, we're in a beta test program, and when you beta test something, you try to reduce the number of variables in the equation," Layden said. "So right now, Fortnite is beta testing for crossplay. I think that certainly once we can prove that this is holding together sturdy and well, I would anticipate seeing other games in this service over time." So, yeah, we're playing together now, guys.
Cool. I also saw a different article. I didn't write it down, but it was talking about how Fallout 76 isn't going to have crossplay still, even though PlayStation's finally on board with like future crossplay.
I wonder why. Well, they just said like they're not on board. They said they're beta testing it. Like with Fortnite. They're saying they're not sure which.
Well, Fallout 76 didn't say for sure that they wouldn't in the future do crossplay, but they said that right now all their eggs are in the fucking the beta basket and stuff. That's pretty much what they're worried about right now, which makes sense. Because it brings me to my next piece of news.
Aww.
Bethesda released recently a new trailer confirming... Or no, I'm sorry. Let me start that over. Bethesda recently released a new trailer and confirmed the release date of the upcoming Fallout 76 beta. As we previously heard, it will come to Xbox One before other platforms, but we now know when and how long. The beta begins for Xbox One on October 23rd and on October 30th for PlayStation 4 and PC. So there you go. If you're excited about the beta, it's coming right up.
Okay.
Coming in hot.
So excited. I mean, the game's coming out really soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to wait until the game comes out, honestly, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a huge beta guy. Like, it just...
I like betas when they're just, like, free, you know? And you can kind of, like, sample the game for a little bit for free. Like, the Titanfall open beta was cool, you know?
That was cool. But I also don't like having to, like, you know, go and attempt to get into the beta. Like, I'd rather just be like, okay, anybody can be in the beta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have to jump through hoops to get to play early, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
A sequel to Minecraft may never happen, and for good reason, according to Minecraft's top boss. Quote, "I really don't think that makes sense for Minecraft, given the community," boss Helen Xiang told Business Insider. "It's something that always fractures the community." According to the site, Minecraft currently has more than 91 million monthly active players, which is well ahead of Fortnite's 78.3 million players from August. So Minecraft still has that many people.
Damn.
If Microsoft were to make Minecraft 2, the player base might get fractured, as some move to the sequel and others stay with the original. While Microsoft could theoretically do that and still make a lot of money, it makes more sense to keep the community together, according
Why
to
would it
Shawn.
matter?
Quote, "We're trying to keep our community together," she explained. "That's why our updates are free. We don't want to ask players to move from Minecraft 1 to Minecraft 2. We want them to just enjoy Minecraft. And there's other ways that we can expand that are more meaningful and authentic to what we want to be, rather than just releasing another iteration in the way that most other franchises do." Stupid
Shots
games
fired.
and their stupid sequels. Here at Microsoft, we only do one thing, and that's Minecraft. One. Like, I don't even get it. I don't understand. Like,
whatever, I guess.
I guess the community doesn't want a sequel. I feel like the community would be like, "Yo, guys, we want better stuff."
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like Minecraft too, with maybe they just don't know what they would do.
They just
I
put
think that's what it
helicopters.
really is. Like, what would you do to make Minecraft worthy of the number 2 after it? You know?
Make it more make one that has like a modern setting, or like not a modern setting, but a you can choose to play in a modern setting where you could like build cars and shit, and like have like a free mode like Legos. I don't know.
That would be
fun.
cool. Maybe change the building mechanic entirely or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
I feel that.
There's been a little bit more Red Dead 2 news, but the main highlight is that we've found out that Red Dead 2 is going to require 105 gigabytes to be downloaded onto your console. So you better clear up a little space.
Wait, how many gigs?
105.
Damn.
But that's for the PS4 Pro. It might be a little different for... It'd probably be even more for the Xbox One X if you think
that's
about
what
it.
I'll say. That sucks.
But, you just clear a little space on that hard drive, it'd probably be worth it.
Well, I think it'll be the same amount of gigs no matter where you're at. It's just it's going to fucking eat up your gigs quicker.
Yeah, it's true. Well, some games on PlayStation have like a Pro patch and it takes up a lot of space. Like The Witcher, significantly smaller download on normal PS4. And apparently there's going to be 32-player online mode. So...
Damn.
Be ready for some Old West shootouts on the online.
32.
I can't wait for that game, man. I'm really excited for the end of the month.
It does look really cool. It does. So with a new month now underway, Niantic has rolled out a new batch of field research tasks in Pokemon Go. This month's research missions are themed around water types, and if you manage to complete enough of them, you'll earn another chance to capture the legendary Aurora Pokemon, Suicune. Suicune is one of the 3 legendary dogs first introduced in Pokemon Gold and Silver alongside Raikou and Entei, both of which were featured in August and September's field research tasks respectively. In order to encounter Suicune, you'll need to achieve a research breakthrough. So,
I always say Suicune. I've been saying it wrong this whole time, I think.
Whenever I was a kid, I would call him Suicune. Suicune.
Suicune?
Yeah, like I didn't even really attempt to read it. I was just like, fucking Suicune.
Suicune. I think I remember that.
Szechuan sauce. But anyways,
geez.
I got my Gyarados finally the other day.
Nice.
Yeah, and I got an Alakazam. Like
you got an Alakazam just out on the street?
No, I evolved.
Oh,
Evolved him.
That's dope.
Raised him from
Is
a boy.
the trading thing in there yet?
Yeah, I haven't
nice?
traded with anyone, but there's like only myself playing.
You're the only Pokemon Go player left in the world.
Trainer, dude. Yeah, and like Aaron was playing for a while, but he fell off, and he's in Austin now.
Bro, I promise, as soon as I get a new phone where my GPS is functional, I'm gonna play that shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. You are.
Let's see. We got Season 6 of Fortnite has started, and Loot Lake is now flying around the map. There's new points of interest all over the place. There's like a diner by fucking Dusty Divot, and there's like, a castle over by Haunted Hills. So just, go do a little exploring, find some new shit, There's this crazy new cube thing, and you can pick it up, and it like turns you into a fucking ghost, and you can fly around and fuck with people. It's freaking crazy. but they keep turning it off because it needs to be patched over and over again. They've added pets that like are on your back and like growl when there's chests nearby, and like, you know, all kinds of fun, cool pet shit. Let's see. They've added a bunch of weapons to the vault, which means they've basically taken out of the game until further notice. They've taken out the impulse grenade, the suppressed submachine gun, the light machine gun, the bouncer, and the remote explosives. So
all went back into the Disney vault.
Into the Disney vault.
Feel that. Here, you finish out all your news, because that's all I got.
That's it? Okay.
That was it, man.
That's okay. I got a bunch of news, so let's
hear it.
Roll through it together. If you're a UFC fan and you've got the UFC 3 game, there's been a recent patch like yesterday. They added Sugar Sean O'Malley and Israel, the Last Stylebender Adesanya, into
God damn,
the
that's
UFC.
A long name.
Yes. So, you know, if you're excited, if you watch fighting, you know, you probably know who these people are, and you're probably wondering, well, you know, why aren't they in the game? Well, now they are. Let's see. What do we got? Okay, we talked about that. We talked about the cross-play action. Let's see.
Cross-play.
Fallout 76 will be starting its beta in a matter of weeks, and Funko is going to offer some new pops and other assorted collectibles to mark the occasion.
For all you fucking nerds.
They'll start to roll out this month, with more to follow in November, including a variety of different characters, collectible types, and even a few store exclusives.
Stores.
Let's see. During Oculus Connect keynote presentation, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the release window and price for the Oculus Quest. The VR headset features full room-scale tracking and PC-like motion controls. Like the previously released Oculus Go, Oculus Quest is a standalone VR headset that can store, play, and save games without connecting to another piece of tech. However, where the Go is specifically designed for mobile VR gaming, Quest can run both mobile and PC VR games. Quest also has more advanced controllers that utilize analog sticks, triggers, and 6 degrees of motion control. In comparison, the Go only has point-and-click controllers with 3 degrees of motion. So basically, I mean, you got room scale. The only downside I've seen to this, it looks really, really cool to me. The only downside I've seen to it is that it seems like it's running off of the same processor that's in a Galaxy S8. You know what I mean? So that seems a little sketcy, you know?
Well, if it can play PC games, I mean...
That's what I'm saying. It's supposed to... They're going to be porting, like, a bunch of, like, real-ass games to it. So it's supposed to, like, map the room you're in and, like, you know, give you a warning if you're about to walk into a wall or something. So you can, like, have, like, a really big room-scale experience with it, you know?
That's awesome.
It's relatively cheap, too. I think it's going to be, like, $300 or $400, you know? And there's no wires or nothing, you know? So, I mean, it's got a lot of potential. And if it is good, it could really revolutionize how people do VR, you know?
Yeah, I always do VR very strange. No, but, like, I'm actually into that. The Quest, first off, I like the name.
Yeah, it's a cool name. It's a cool design, too. It's got, like, a reddish color to it, you know, like almost like a scarlet version of the Oculus Rift, just with no fucking wires or anything.
See, I think that's a bad idea. I think they should pull an Apple and stick to the fucking, like, black and white, make it sleek, but, or at least just to make it consumer friendly. Whenever you got, like, cherry red and all this fucking bullshit, like, people tend to not want it.
It's not like cherry red. It's like, it's still...
Just in general. I'm just talking about throwing... People don't like color. People don't like to have to choose shit. People like...
Here, there's no choice.
It's like, yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, people don't like to have color. Like, it's weird. Like, think about Apple. When's the last time? Every time they do one with color, it's like they're like 5C or like something like that nobody wants.
You're right about that.
I don't know, but I could be wrong. All I'm saying is that this sounds revolutionary. They should be trying to put all their money into this thing. They should be like, look, guys, you can take it anywhere. Anyone can use this shit.
I kind of agree with you. I think that Oculus should go the more mobile route, you know? And I think Vive should focus on the you know, hard PC ported, you know, VR. Because there's going to be a market for, the more intense, expensive VR setups, still.
Yeah.
Especially in like arcades and stuff, you know what I mean? But I think that Oculus wouldn't be stupid to pursue this. But I think they're playing their cards right. They're gonna see which one sells better, because they've already got the Oculus Go out. But the Oculus Go it's hard to say it's like a real headset because the 3 degrees of freedom. Like, to give you perspective, like Oculus Go, you could like look around you in all 360 degrees, but you can't, like, if you move your head up, like the whole floor is gonna come up with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't pick it
Or
up.
if you like lean forward, it's not gonna like let you lean forward. The new one's gonna let you like move all around. You could like break dance if you want to in the VR room. Like.
See, and that's what I'm saying. They should be like trying to get this to like more mainstream consumers, being like, look, this is like the iPhone of VR.
Mm-hmm.
In the next 10 years, everyone's going to have a VR, so you should be one of the first people to jump on. So you can be like, yo, dude, I was there first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's I feel like if that happened and they made this like niche, like, oh, I want to be first on this type shit happen, then they could blow it up,
Yeah, they really could. I don't know. I got a good feeling about this, but let's see what else we got. One of the more notable features included in Switch Online is cloud storage, which allows you to both access and recover your game's save data if your Switch is ever lost, stolen, or damaged. A Nintendo FAQ page created some concern that Switch Online would immediately delete your cloud storage if you ever stop paying for the subscription. Whether on purpose or not, Nintendo has now clarified that the FAQ statement is only partially true.
Oh.
Switch Online will delete your cloud saves if Nintendo doesn't receive a subscription payment, but the action won't take place immediately. According to a response made to IGN, cloud saves can be recovered up to 6 months after your subscription ends. You won't be able to access your saves once your subscription expires, but they'll remain on Nintendo's servers for 180 days before they're gone for good.
What does that even mean? So you can't access them, but they're there. Like on this,
like you can't use it, like you can't like load up a game that you have saved, until you start paying.
Until
again.
you pay this, and then you got 6 months to do that.
Yeah.
So that's some bullshit.
It's more reasonable than just immediately deleting your shit. You know what I mean?
But why delete your shit anyways? I mean, like,
maybe there's like a limited amount of space they have to save that information.
I just feel like that's ridiculous. I mean, you don't ever run into that shit with Xbox or PlayStation. I mean, they'll hold on to your save for fucking eternity. Like why is that a thing with Nintendo only?
Yeah, you got a good point. I don't know.
It's like, come on, guys. Come on. Anyways, what you got?
Let's see. Bandai Namco is bringing a batch of VR games from Japan to the USA, including Mario Kart Arcade GP VR. The VR games will be available to play at a VR Zone portal in Washington, D.C. for a limited time starting on October 1st. Mario Kart VR runs on HTC Vive VR system and lets you grab items out of the air to toss at your opponents, along with haptic feedback for all those bumps and hits. So you're like in a little car, just,
That's cool.
The VR Zone will also feature Argyle Shift, which puts you in the role of a futuristic test pilot on a mission to drop a mech into the combat zone, and Ski Rodeo, an alpine skiing game. All 3 games will be available for a 6-month engagement at Union Station near the National Mall in D.C. The games will cost $8 a piece to try. Bandai Namco hasn't announced further plans for other locations or dates. So if you're interested, you may need to make plans and visit the nation's capital sooner rather than later.
That's cool.
That is cool. I would pay $8 to do a VR Mario Kart. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but it's $8 a try. That kind of sucks, though.
Yeah, I mean, surely you get like I don't know. There's some like ones at the mall that are like $15, and you gotta like
Holy
fucking.
shit,
It's
what?
like a roller coaster.
Oh,
I would much rather do the $8 Mario Kart race. You know what I mean?
That guy. Are you talking about that little like random like VR thing?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that guy was like, "Hey, you guys want to try this?" And me and my brother were like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And he was like, "Be $10 a piece." I'm like, "Wait, why why'd you call us over here to try it? You said it like we were gonna get to try it. Like they throw that $10 at you once they already have you over at the thing.
Yeah, no, that's messed up.
I was like, that's some bullshit.
See, would you be a little more tempted if you knew it was Mario Kart though?
Yeah, but see, okay, I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Now I just got to talk a little bit of shit about these mall guys.
These mall guys are terrible, and they're not even using like high quality VR.
No,
headsets.
It's bullshit.
That's what
VR
pisses me
headset.
off. They got some like fucking. It's not even like a recognizable brand.
It's like seen on TV.
Yeah,
as seen on TVR. So like,
it's probably why all these people have shitty tastes of VR in their mouth because they go to the mall and they use some kind of bullshit.
and that was the thing. He was like, I was like, so how much are the headsets? He's like, oh, they would cost you about $89.99. And I was like,
$89.99. What?
And I was like, so can you add games to these, or like, are they preloaded with games? And he's like, I think. I'm not sure, honestly. Like, he had no idea what the fuck they were.
Dude, the people at the mall piss me off. Dude, I went to the mall the other day to the fucking HTC store or whatever, and they have a Vive Pro on display, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, this is the day I get to try the Vive Pro and see the difference, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like pumped. I went up there and I was like, hey guys, I was like, what's up? Can I try the Vive? And they're like, yeah, you come back in an hour. We're just trying to fix it right now. There's something wrong with it. And I was like, okay. Like, but yeah, come back in an hour. We'll have it fixed. So I like set my timer for an hour or whatever. I came back and they're all just sitting there talking, dude. And they're like, oh yeah, man, it's broke. I don't know, bro. It's like obviously not broken. Like,
it's just like over in the corner, like just completely cut in half. Like,
dude, that is such bullshit. They just did not want to put it on. I was so mad. I wanted to try it so bad, dude. It was like sitting there looking at me just like, oh, don't you want to try me, Brent? And I was like, yes.
Maybe it was like, it was meant to happen that way. Like, if you would have put the headset on, you would have tripped and like broke your neck or something.
Maybe I would have put it on and it would have just ruined VR for me forever because it would have been too good. You know, it would have been like, I would have had to go out and get this like fucking $2,000 setup to fucking...
Yeah. Shit got ridiculous.
Let's see. We got more news. Microsoft has announced that Xbox One consoles will soon enable mouse and keyboard support. The company followed up with another announcement that it would be partnering with Razer to bring players additional mouse and keyboard options.
Oh.
In the announcement, Microsoft added that mouse and keyboard support would be case by case, with the choice of implementing it completely up to the developers. No update is going to add mouse and keyboard support to every existing title on Xbox One. Developers will either need to patch in an update or include it in future games.
Yes.
Oh, let's see what else we got. With the exception of the recent Harry Potter mobile game and Niantic's upcoming AR game, it's been several years since Warner Bros. Interactive has released a new video game adaptation of J.K. Rowling's popular series. However, it appears the publisher has an unannounced Harry Potter game in the works, and we may have gotten our first glimpse at it. Reddit user Vape This Bro shared a video of the alleged new Harry Potter game online, which shows off character creation, spellcasting, and even open-world environments set in and around familiar Harry Potter locations. The video has since been removed from YouTube by Warner Brothers, but mirrored versions of it are still available to watch. And while the quality of the video is poor, it still certainly looks intriguing. Along with the video, Vape This Bro shared a synopsis of the alleged game, which suggests players will assume the role of a fifth-year student shortly after arriving at Hogwarts. Strange events begin unfolding in the Forbidden Woods, and players embark with a professor named Elzar Fig to investigate. The game also allegedly allows players to freely explore the world and decide whether to pursue a path of good or evil.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Eurogamer reports that the footage is indeed taken from an in-the-works Harry Potter game, and that the title is being developed by Avalanche Software, the studio best known for its work on Disney's 2013 Toys to Life title, Disney Infinity. Following Infinity's cancellation in 2016, Avalanche was briefly shuttered alongside all of Disney Interactive's other subsidiaries until Warner Brothers Interactive acquired the studio in early 2017. So that's exciting stuff, man. It looks really good. I mean, like, just from the little clip, you know, you can tell it's really early in development still.
But the graphics are beautiful.
Ooh, man. If it's even like a little bit as good as it looks, it's gonna be dope as fuck. Like,
I like how Avalanche Software, it's like, Disney Infinity 3.0, Cars 2, Toy Story 25 to life.
25 to life.
They made that game 25 to life back in the day.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I am too. They're probably excited to be making a game that's not like completely geared towards children. I mean, like,
yeah,
you know
especially since it's an RPG and the fact it's open world.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Ooh.
Like, you don't understand. Like, this
I've
is what we
been
were
dreaming
talking
that
about
since I was a kid. Yeah, we like created this exact game the other day on the show.
We were talking, literally, we were talking about, what was it, like licensed games that need to happen?
Yeah, that was
literally
the episode.
like 2 weeks ago.
I'm telling you, we're like psychic, man. I'm telling you.
The future.
We called King K. Rool from fucking the new game, the
That's
new
true.
Smash Bros. Game. We totally called that like way before.
Man, dude.
Way before the leaks, you know?
This would be Future Speak podcast, dude. So that's it for this week in gaming news. So we're going to jump into this week's releases, where you can find out what games are coming out in the next 7 days. We're going to start it off with my personal favorite out of the games coming out, Super Mario Party Switch. Coming October 5th for $59.99. With Super Mario Party, your party gets supercharged with fun for everyone, thanks to 80 new minigames, more strategic board gameplay, and the dynamic and amazing new puzzles of Toad's Rec Room. The original board game style has been kicked up a notch with deeper strategic elements, like specific dice blocks for each character. The game also introduces all new ways to play, including Joy-Con controller-enabled minigames and new modes to enjoy with family and friends.
These dice blocks are going to be pissing people off, bro.
Oh, yeah, like, it adds, like, a little bit of skill to the game, I'm guessing.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be tight, man. I only played, like, 4 minigames, but they were, like, all super unique and fun. You know how, like, a lot of the time Mario Party minigames kind of feel like copy and pasted versions of, like, like, this is going to be, like, totally different, I feel like.
Oh, it's like actual minigames.
Well, they utilize the motion controls a lot, you know? So it's like it almost feels like WarioWare or some shit, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, and my thing is like, even when they were copy pasted, they were fun as fuck.
Oh,
like,
totally. And I'm sure you'll still get a couple that are like the same concept as like the older ones,
like,
you know,
the
with like a
rollerball.
new little spin on it, you know?
Then we got Assassin's Creed Odyssey coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 5th for $59.99. This game's actually getting, like, raving reviews, surprisingly.
Yeah, it looked cool. I mean, you know.
Like, they're saying it's, like, the best Assassin's Creed game. Like, besides, somebody was saying, like, besides Black Flag. But
Black Flag was pretty good.
But this is supposedly dope. So write your own epic Odyssey and become a legendary Greek hero in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, an inspiring adventure where you must forge your destiny in a world where every choice matters.
I like that time period, you know? Like, I think that's a lot to do with, like, Assassin's Creed in general, like, how much you enjoy the, like, lore of the era that you're in, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, if you like Revolutionary War, you're gonna like Assassin's Creed 3 the most, you know? If you like pirates, you're gonna like Black Flag the most, you know? If you like, you know, it's all about where it's set.
Still no feudal Japan.
Oh, dude, that would be dope, actually. Why haven't they done that?
I'm sure they're saving it for something.
You think?
Yeah, I feel like that's their rainy day card, even though they've had many rainy days. But I was going to say what was it? Oh, I keep seeing the commercials for it, or like the trailers on like Hulu and stuff, or on something. I can't remember where I keep seeing it. But every single one, he does the like Spartan kick. Like he like Spartan kicks somebody, but it's like so annoying. Like it's literally like the main part of the trailer. Every 2 seconds, someone's just getting Spartan kicked in slow mo.
That's just the whole game.
Basically, I'm like, this tells me nothing. You're trying to sell us on something that happened in a movie like 10 years ago. But WWE 2K19 coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 9th for $59.99. In WWE 2K19, experience authentic WWE gameplay, extensive creation options, engaging match types, fan favorite modes, and much more. And then we got Mark of the Ninja Remastered coming to Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and PC on October 9th for $19.99. Hold your breath and slow your heart. You can't make a sound. You're a ninja. From the shadow of a deep doorway, you hear footsteps echoing in the alley, pacing back and forth. Out there, the city is asleep, and there are few noises to cover you. Your hiding places keep you safe, but it also blocks your view. The target is out there somewhere, but he's not alone. Mark of the Ninja is a stealth game developed by Glide Entertainment. Observe your enemies from afar, manipulate them with your tools, and execute your plan with precision. And then we got Disgaea 1 Complete coming to Switch and PS4 on October 9th for $49.99. 2 years after the death of his father, Overlord Krashevskoy, the demon prince Lahari, awakens to discover that the Netherworld is in turmoil. With unlikely allies, his devious vassal Etna and the angel trainee Flawn, he must battle his way to supremacy to retake the throne and become the next overlord.
Isn't flan like a Mexican dessert? Like a cheesecake or something, kind of?
It might be. Flonne?
No, it's like FLAUN.
See, I don't know. Maybe it's flown. Dude, I'm just trying, okay? No, then we got...
I'm not hating. I'm just saying, It's making me want some
Yeah,
flan,
it does sound pretty good. I don't even know what that is. Is it like a cheesecake?
Have you ever had like buttermilk pie?
Yes.
It's a lot like buttermilk pie.
Oh my god. That sounds amazing. I don't know. We got The Maestros coming to PC on October 3rd. Couldn't find a price for this game. The Maestros is a team-based action strategy multiplayer arena about transforming cute animals and clunky robot minions into battle-ready beasts and bots. Pick a commander from the Diesel Punk Knights of Tetonia or the futuristic alchemists of Regales, and guide them and their squadron of wildly cuddly and mildly vicious minions to victory on the mysterious floating isles of Tenshi. Then we got My Memory of Us coming to Xbox One, PS4, and PC on October 9th for $19.99. My Memory of Us is a puzzle-based side-scrolling game of hope and heroism in the face of absolute terror.
Sounds sad.
It does. It begins in the city, a place inspired by the pre-Second World War Warsaw, where a young boy and a girl from two different worlds come together to be kids, free to play and enjoy life. War breaks out. The evil king plunders the city, and his robot soldiers separate citizens. Some are marked for being different, forced to move from their homes and live in a place sealed off from the rest of the city by a huge wall. Times of terror, pain, and exclusion in a world where people were forced to live in two artificially detached worlds. The young boy and girl's friendship is the bond that may allow them to stay together, even though fate wants to tear them apart.
Damn.
Okay, so and then we got Evasion coming to PSVR and PC
nice.
on October 9th for $33.99.
I think it's on sale for $33.99.
Yeah, I don't know what
I
the
think
exact
it's going to be
price
marked
is.
up to $39.99 when it comes out, actually.
It's a sci-fi themed bullet hell experience designed for VR.
Dude, I saw this video from IGN the other day, and they were saying they were at like PAX or something recently, and like they did a bunch of like VR stuff that's coming out, and they're like, it was IGN too. It was weird. They were like really excited. They're like, PSVR is about to have its best year ever, and blah blah blah. I was like, wow.
Oh, I thought you were about to tell me about this game or something.
Oh no,
I was like waiting for it.
Not that game specifically. That fucking Astrobot game that came out last week is everybody's talking about how good that is. Like,
who was it? Or do you know who it was at IGN that was like flipping and shit about it?
It was two different guys. I forget who they are, but they both played a bunch of shit that they were really enjoying.
That's awesome, though. I hope they're right.
They were both really excited about the Tetris effect and like blood and truth and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think VR is gonna have its heyday. I think it's coming.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially with
it's
the
on
Quest,
the horizon,
man.
bro. Yeah, I think something like the Quest is gonna take over. I think we're gonna need a little more power in the Quest. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I think the Quest is a step in the right direction for sure.
Most def. So, Mutant Football League is coming to Switch on October 2nd for $29.99. Blending monsters, mayhem, and good old roughneck team sports, the reborn and modernized Mutant Football League is a 7-on-7 arcade-style, fully 3D sports video game where creatures of all kinds take the gridiron to battle it out in the most violent game ever played. This hilarious and brutal parody of professional American football will introduce gamers to some of the wildest, most bloodthirsty superstar players to ever strap on shoulder spikes. And then we got Vertical Drop Heroes coming to Switch on October 4th for $6.99. Vertical Drop Heroes is a procedural platformer RPG hybrid with roguelike elements where your hero adventures through randomly generated stages. Armed with a variety of skills and traits, you must use your cunning and reflexes to survive the dangers of each stage until you face the final boss and uncover the truth behind the game. That's like literally
every game.
Every game. And then we got Octung Cthulhu Tactics, The Forest of Fear, coming to PC on October 4th. Couldn't find a price for this game. Based on the wildly successful tabletop RPG from Modifius Entertainment, Octung Cthulhu Tactics is a strategic role-playing game set in an alternate World War II where the Nazis have gained a considerable advantage by summoning Lovecraftian monsters. Players take control of Charlie Company, an elite band of Allied forces sent in to turn the tide of war behind enemy lines. Having managed to summon monsters to their side, the rival Nazi armies, Black Sun and Nachtwolf, are on the verge of unleashing terrible occult-powered weapons upon the Allied forces, and it's the player's job to stop them by any means necessary. And then we got Shortest Trip to Earth coming to PC on October 9th. No price. Shortest Trip to Earth is a roguelike spaceship simulator focused on exploration, ship management, and tactical battles. Embark on a perilous journey across the universe while an intergalactic war is raging, basically. And then we got Stranded Deep coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Mac on October 4th for $14.99. Take the role of a plane crash survivor stranded somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. Come face to face with some of the most life-threatening scenarios that will result in a different experience each time you play. Scavenge, discover, survive. And then, finally, we have Ultra Space Battle Brawl, coming to PC on October 4th for $14.99. Imagine Pong mixed with the essence of fighting games on steroids. Easy to learn, yet hard to master. Ultra Space Battle Brawl is a fun competitive game fit for settling disputes, be it with your friends and family or rivals and arch nemesis. Play the single-player story mode campaign if you don't have friends or enemies to fight against. Depression. I ain't got no friends.
That's sad.
Yeah,
what
but
a
that's
sad
it.
way to end that. Yeah,
That's it for the games coming out this week. Yeah, I got some games with gold to tell you all about.
Let me hear about them.
So
Them games with gold.
First off, for the Xbox, for the Xbox One, you got Overcooked. Great, amazing game.
Is it Overcooked 2 or Overcooked
Just
1?
Overcooked.
Just Overcooked.
Get this while it's free.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be October 1st
Mandatory.
through the 31st.
I think the sequel is on Game Pass right now. I could be wrong.
Is it? I don't think so. I think the first one's on.
One of them's on Game Pass.
I think it's just the first one.
Yeah, it might just be the first one.
And then Victor Vran, whatever that is coming October 16th through the 15th of November. You can still get Live Lock up until the 15th of October. Oh, never mind. You can't get. Oh yeah, you can until October 15th. Sorry. And then on the Xbox 360 and One, you can get Stuntman Ignition from October 1st through the 15th, and then also Hitman Blood Money from the 16th.
Oh, that's a
the
dope
31st.
game. That's a dope game.
It's old.
I'm all about Hitman, dude. I love Hitman.
I like Hitman, or I liked Hitman whenever I was a kid, and I played. I think it was the second Hitman 2.
Hitman 2 was cool.
After that, I didn't really play any of them until this most recent Hitman, and
I played almost all of them.
They're all pretty good.
I mean, there's high points and low points for the series, but I feel like it's a lot like Silent Hill. You know, none of the games were so good that they made waves, but they have their own little following. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. No, I don't know why I didn't get into this new Hitman. I just couldn't.
Bro. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, you got the PlayStation games, or
Yeah, I got them PlayStation games, baby. They told us early this month. They're getting it done early this month. They're on their shit this month. PlayStation has given us Friday the 13th for PS4 and Laser League for PS4. For PS3, they're giving us The Bridge and Master Reboot. And for Vita, we're getting Rocket Birds 2 Evolution and 2064 Read-Only Memories. I'm really glad I'm getting Friday the 13th because I had so much fun playing Dead by Daylight when they gave us that for free that I almost bought Friday the 13th because I was like, I'm going to enjoy Friday the 13th more. I know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard it's really glitchy, though.
Really?
Yeah, compared to Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight's really smooth feeling, I'll tell you that. And it's a good game, but I just like Jason, you know?
Yeah, it's got all of them in there. It's not just Jason, I thought. Or I think they...
No, Friday the 13th is just Jason, but Dead by Daylight's got a bunch of them.
That's what
Dead by Daylight's got,
okay.
like, Mike Myers and Jigsaw Guy, and I think they actually, like, 2 days ago, they added, like, the Grudge Girl.
Oh, dude, that's dope.
Yeah, I know. I want to get her.
That's so cool.
But yeah.
Sweet. So, let's jump into currently playing. Do you want me to start?
I'll start it off, yeah. Since we were talking about Hitman, I actually beat that new Hitman game.
Oh, really? The chaptered one?
Yeah, I beat every chapter. It won't actually let you start chapters. Like, you can't play them out of order. Like, or maybe you can, but it like gets mad at you if you try to. Like, a big message pops up, and it's like, you should play the other chapters before you play this chapter, you asshole. You know what I mean?
So how did you feel about it?
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. Like, there was one level that I wasn't too fond of, but it was the one where you got to kill 4 people. No, I liked it. I liked every level. Every level had its own little challenges, and like every level you could complete in like so many different ways. You know what I mean? And it's like you had to be creative and like resourceful. And, like, I don't know, it was really interesting. And there's all kinds of little secret shit. Like, if you adventure and, like, climb out over, like, say, okay, like, the last level starts you in a, like, hospital. And you're, like, trying to kill one of the patients of the hospital and some lady walking around the hospital. And, you know, like, you can shoot her, you can, like, lure her off to, like with a cigarette, be like, hey, do you want a cigarette? And, like, we got to go somewhere to smoke where they can't see us, and then, you know, kill her there. You can poison her sushi. You can, like, rig the dude who's, like, in the operating rooms, like, medical shit to go wrong. You can disguise yourself as, like, a dude with bandages and, like, sneak in with them, you know? There's, like, so many different ways you can, like, beat each level. It's what makes it so good, you know? And there's, like, a lot of replayability to it. I don't know. Like, I find myself in that game, like, saving the game and playing out different scenarios, like, from that point. You know what I mean? Like, just to see which one plays out the best. Like, there's one where I, like, sabotaged this fucking machine to, like, ram this battering ram into a car. And, like, these 2 people were walking, and they're, like, 2 of my 4 targets, right? And they're walking, talking to each other, and I, like, push the button right at the right time, and the fucking thing slams into them and killed both of them at the exact same time. And everybody just looked at it and thought it was an accident. And I just walked off and minded my own business, you know?
That's pretty dope.
Like, the best feeling is when you do everything so smooth and, like, nobody knows what happened, and you just, like, can calmly, like, walk to the exit of the level, you know?
You just look like a fucking badass.
But sometimes, like, you're in a shootout and you're, like, shooting your way all the way to the helicopter you're trying to, like, escape. You know, I don't know. It's cool. It's just a really fun game.
Like, you're a terrible hitman.
I really like the way the stealth works in it. Like, they have to see you in order to recognize you. So if they don't see you, they'll be on guard, so like they'll walk right past you looking for you know what I mean? Because they haven't seen your face yet, and you're dressed like them, and you're also holding a gun, you know,
unless you start acting suspicious.
Exactly. I don't know, and it's cool. They react really smartly to like what really intelligently to like what costume you're wearing and stuff. I don't know, it's really fun.
That's right. Yeah, it's like really cool. I think that might be my issue with it, is that it's just so deep that I don't have the mind to put to it. You know, like
you have to think about it. Like, what would you really do in this situation? You know, like you have to hide everybody, or else it almost is guaranteed going to be found. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I don't like to kill the people, but it's smart to kill the people, or else they'll wake up and you know.
Yeah, I mean,
what happens? Commotion, you know.
Can you beat the game without killing anybody?
No. I mean, you can beat the game without killing anybody you're not supposed to kill.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
But the whole objective of the game is to kill people. You know what I mean?
No. Could you beat the whole game without killing anybody that you're not contracted to kill?
Absolutely. It's encouraged to. Like, you lose like 5,000 points or some shit for every person you kill that's not your target.
Oh, okay.
You can knock people unconscious without killing them. And like, if you put an unconscious person in like a chest or a closet or something, they'll stay in the closet for like, the remainder of the match. And most of the time they won't be found. You know what I mean? But it's not always
put them in a closet.
It's not always easy to find a closet. Sometimes like you'll find yourself dragging people through like 4 rooms trying to find like a place to hide their body
while people are walking in and out and shit.
Exactly. It gets your heart going though. Like there's some situations, like there's one where you have to like sneak into this really heavily guarded building and like print out a latex mask and use the latex mask to get through a facial recognition scanner at the bottom of the building. And that shit was so intense. Like first of all, you have to get into the building to get a costume to like, blend in with people in the building. So you have to find a way to get into this like impossible to get into building and then kill somebody without getting seen and take their costume. It's like really hard, but it's so much fun. Whenever you finally do it, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I'm the badass super spy. You know what I mean? Like,
I like. Have you seen the trailer for the new one? Like,
yeah, I've seen one
where it's like the NASCAR race.
Yeah, dude,
that's gonna be pretty cool,
bro. I can't wait. I really like the most recent one, so I think the next one's gonna be really dope. And
especially with the co-op.
Apparently, if you get the new one, it's gonna have all the missions from the first one in it.
Nice.
So like if you missed out on the first one, might as well just wait until the second one.
Yeah, and like I think they're adding. I'm right though on the multiplayer. Right, there's gonna be multiplayer.
I'm not sure about that
because if there is, I'm gonna have to.
I mean, there's already some like elements of like not necessarily multiplayer on the first one, but like you can make contracts for people online out of like the levels that exist and have people go try to do your contracts. You know what I mean?
That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Anyways, what else you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a little bit. I keep on playing the Firewall 0 Hour. I finally unlocked my Signal Jammer, which is like makes you pretty much like a badass if you have a Signal Jammer. Like everybody on your team loves you, because it's like like the whole objective of the game is to like you're either defending this computer or you're trying to get to the computer and like get the data from the computer, right? So if you have a signal jammer and you're defending the computer, you can hide the signal jammer somewhere within like a 10-foot radius of the computer, and like they have to find it or else they can't win the match. So like even if they kill your whole team, they'll get over to the computer and then they're like frantically looking for this signal jammer so they can destroy it before the time limit's up. And I'm like really good at hiding it, so it pisses people off.
That's awesome. That sounds fun, actually.
It's really fun. So I'm really happy with that. And I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 3 Zombies lately. I guess I'm just like getting ready for that Black Ops 4 Zombies, but
definitely.
I've gotten really rusty, dude. I used to be dope at that shit, and like I am not dope at that shit anymore.
It's that, that practice, man. Like those types of games, like you can get really good at them because you spend so much fucking time playing them when they first drop.
It's true.
But the moment you take like a month away from it, your hands forget like how to move.
I keep finding myself doing stuff that I do in Fortnite to like I'll push left bumper to like try to crouch and like I'll fucking throw a grenade or something,
There just needs to be a universal thing. This is how all shooters are.
Right.
It sucks. But yeah.
So that's all I've been playing.
Sweet. So I was checking out Games Pass. I was like, okay, I need something to accompany my Halo Master Chief Collection binge, which I've been playing that. But also, I got Rocket League, okay?
I've heard Rocket League's a lot of fun.
Rocket League is not just fun. It's addicting. It's fucking bullshit. Like, it's one of those games where the matches are only 5 minutes long. But it's like played like a sport, so it's like you go until somebody makes a goal and then it halts the game and then you go back in, the countdown keeps going down, or like you make a goal, it stops at 3:10, then it starts back up from 310 going down.
Oh, that's cool.
And so you have like 2v2 or 3v3, 4v4, and then like 1v1 matches. But like it's all skill based. There's like nothing about this game that isn't skill. So like somebody can't have like a better, like there's like a slight differences apparently in like how quick you can power slide and stuff with these vehicles, but there's nothing that's like, oh, if you have this vehicle, you're automatically going to be better than this person.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, and it's all physics, physics-based gameplay. So you're like riding up on the walls and like you have to like practice like jumping out and like spinning and landing correctly and like hitting the ball. And they have like all these different things. Like you can dribble the ball stuff, but you got to be fucking good in my opinion.
That's dope.
It's tight. It's really fun. Like it got me to the point to where I was like looking up like pro players like playing it, and like I was just like, holy shit, that's awesome,
dude. Yeah, I was watching Phoenix play that the other day, and he was bouncing around all over the place, smacking into the ball. It's pretty crazy.
I feel like Phoenix is probably pretty good because every time I get on Xbox or on my Xbox, I see his little thing pop up, and it's either Fortnite or Rocket League. So I'm like, he's been playing Rocket League forever.
Hell yeah, for sure.
And one thing I thought that was really cool about it is the fact that you can, for the training, you can like customize your training. So like you can set the ball to launch at specific spots, and then you can like, go out and try different things about how you would do it in the actual match, or like, I don't know. It's just really cool. You should totally check it out, dude.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of it. It's pretty neat. I played this thing in VR the other day, and it was like, Rec Room, but they're always adding stuff to Rec Room. So I get on like maybe once a month, once every 2 months or something, and just to check out all the new shit. And I went on there the other day, and they had soccer as an option. I was like, oh, cool.
Nice.
So I went in there, and it was basically like set up like fucking Rocket League almost. Like you're in this big soccer field, and like it's all rounded in, like there's no like sidelines or shit the ball can go over. It just bounces off the wall. And like there's this big ball that's like bigger than you are, and you like run into it physically, and it blasts off, and you like got to run around and like bounce into the ball. But nobody was playing the soccer game, so I couldn't find anybody to get in a game with on
that
it.
Sucks.
So, yeah, it bummed me out.
Well, whenever I started playing Rocket League, I initially like the thought in my head was like this. But VR, I want like actual
in cars. Oh, you're like in the car.
Yes.
That would be sick.
Like in a car with the exact same physics, but like when you're in the car, you have to like shift gears and like hit buttons to jump, and like because the game focuses a lot on like jumps, like you can jump or like double jump and then use your rocket to like go up and stuff.
That would be tight in VR. I could see that working really well.
Oh yeah, I think like having some form of jumping and then like using the rockets, like I hope Rocket League takes advantage of that and figures that out before anybody else does.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Feels good. But anyways, that's it. That's what we've been playing. Y'all can post what you're playing up in the Facebook group, or you can just post it in the comment.
Just post it somewhere, man, and let us know about it.
Yeah, we want to know what you're playing. We'll talk with you about it. And then so let's go into the topic of the show, Brent.
Shit.
This one,
the topic of the show,
is real. This is what we want from the next gen consoles. So we're talking next gen.
Yeah, we're talking guesses. We're talking predictions. We're talking our wants and hopes
and needs.
We need for the next gen.
Okay.
Next generation. Well, we know the PS5's on the horizon. We know that Xbox is working on some shit.
Yeah,
we probably won't see anything from Nintendo for a while just because they put the Switch out like a year or two ago.
Very recently.
And it's got a lot of life left in it still, I feel like,
Yeah, and they're not really trying to compete with Xbox One and PS4.
We might see like a Switch Slim or something in the next few years, but nothing crazy, I don't think.
A Switch Slim, it just gets smaller.
Well,
No, I know.
Like a pocket size, Slim Switch. That'd be tight.
That'd be dope. Or like one where you don't need the dock, like it's just the Switch.
Yeah, but it's like extra little with like a way better battery life.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, so we know the two big uns are coming. So what's something that you specifically want from this new generation of consoles, Brent? Get this conversation started.
Well, obviously we're going to have as good or better specs than modern PCs. That just seems obvious. The first place you're going to start with the console is making it higher than PC quality, at least current PC quality.
That's not going to happen. They're not going to make it better than PC quality.
Like standard PC. Look at the Xbox One X. It's close to on par.
It's like a low-end PC.
Nah, it's like a mid-grade PC. It's pretty good for what it is, for the price it is. You know what I mean? It can compete. Yeah. It's comparable. Now, with a slight bump to that, it would be on par with.
Well, the problem with modern PCs is that they change every year or so. So, by the time they got it,
modern PCs right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's going to be better than that. You know what I mean? Hopefully
so. I could see it being obviously better than this generation, but I don't think it's gonna be kind of like 360 to Xbox One. I feel like it's
yeah, definitely. But that's just because graphics have gotten to a point where it's less noticeable when you make a
exactly.
I saw this thing online. Not this thing online. I saw this video by this guy, and he was talking about how the developers all already have dev kits for the PS5, Xbox 2, whatever they're going to call it. I've heard people calling it the Xbox Scarlet. That's the most popular
that's the code
name going around right now. But people have the dev kits, and he said that the GPU is putting out about 6 times more power than the previous consoles. So the Xbox One, PS4 right now.
That's pretty awesome.
And something worth noting is that the GPUs that are going to be in the cores of all these consoles, because the original consoles, they both use Jaguar.
Yeah.
Chips and shit. I don't know. I don't know shit about this. So
yeah, we're not the tech.
We don't
guys.
know anything about tech. So but I know that they had real fancy chips or whatever, and they're gonna have similar hardware. But apparently it's gonna be the chip, the GPU that's gonna be put in it is specifically designed with VR in mind. You know what I mean? So
for the Xbox too,
I think so. I think they're gonna both have the same kind of chip,
Yeah, I definitely want VR.
I don't know that for sure, but I think we might see some VR stuff from Xbox. I think we'd be hard pressed to not at least have Xbox be ready to do it if they want to.
Yeah, I honestly think there will be VR for the Xbox One because one, it's going to push the climate for all gamers in general. Especially with Microsoft.
Yeah, absolutely, and
once being behind it.
Yeah, and once we've accepted the fact that VR is probably going to stay as part of the future of gaming, you know what I mean? At least in some respect. I think we can, I don't know. I don't want to say we can expect it from Xbox. We can definitely expect it from PlayStation. PlayStation's definitely going to do a PSVR 2. That's no question in my mind because the first one did pretty well. I'm sure they've made money on it, not lost money.
Hopefully they do a PSVR 2 and not just keep the PSVR and make it compatible with the new PlayStation.
I'm thinking at first maybe that's what's going to happen, but I'm thinking eventually, they probably won't launch side by side. You know, PS5's probably going to drop, and then maybe a year or two later we'll get an updated PSVR. You know what I mean? But I think all the old... That's another thing. I think backwards compatibility is going to be a big thing with the next generation of consoles. You know what I mean?
In what way, though? Are you talking about digital backwards compatibility?
No, I'm talking about... that's a good question. I think digital and physical for the most part, if they have disk drives even on the next generation of consoles. Because I think that's another thing that's going to be by the wayside pretty soon is disk drives.
Yeah.
I don't think disks can keep up with modern technology.
Well,
you know what I mean? I think we're going to be exclusively using flash drives pretty soon.
And maybe not even... Well, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. But I saw an article... They were talking about how this guy who's been known to correctly predict hardware for the consoles in the past. He basically leaked that Microsoft is working on 2 consoles to come out at the same time.
Right, I heard about that.
Yeah, and one's
going to be
normal
focused on
Xbox.
streaming, right?
Yep. It's going to be basically a stream box. And so
I think that's smart, though, you know? I mean, think about this. Let's say the 2 consoles drop tomorrow, right?
Okay.
One of them is $600, and it's the new Xbox, and it's fucking sick, you know what I mean? And it's like, but the other one is the streaming Xbox, and it's $79.99, okay? It comes with an Xbox controller. It's like ridiculously cheap because all they have to do is basically put in some hardware good enough to run a game and then, you know, have the ability to stream. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need all that other technical shit, you know? So they could reduce the price drastically. And I think that's what we're going to end up seeing. Like, people who are too broke to have the premium option will have a much, much cheaper option. You know what I mean?
But then wouldn't that go against their whole new system of, like, contracts for your Xbox, you know, paying monthly for an Xbox, you know? Like, I feel like this stream box is kind of just like the honestly, I think it's the one that's going to take over, because I feel like it's going to be the Netflix of video games. Like, what you're seeing here is like, okay, we're going to take Games Pass, but we're also going to make it streamable. So you pay us, or you buy this box initially, kind of like a Roku box almost.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And then every month you pay us $10, $15, and you'll have access to all these games.
I think you're right. You know, I think what's going to happen soon is that there won't be a Games Pass, there won't be Xbox Live, there won't be any of that shit. It's all going to be merged into one big. It's going to be like a more expensive version of Xbox Live.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like way more shit, you know, like I think they're going to have a whole fuckload of games that you can play like streaming, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's almost like paying for cable or something. Like, you know, you're going to have this package still. It's like, okay, you know.
I think it's going to be really sweet if they can get it working properly, you know, like, I don't know. I've seen the potential of streaming games, and I think it can be a really cool idea if executed properly. That being said, I do think it would be good to have the option to play like physical games and stuff, you know, if you want to like have the nicer Xbox, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing is, like, I think this next one is going to be the merging generation. Like, we're going to be slowly merging over to streaming and getting away from physical copies and all that stuff.
Totally.
But also, it's going to be how this generation was like the generation of I would say this generation was more like the generation of everything is open world. Everything, no matter what it is, if it's a game, it's open world, unless it's like a, you know, a MOBA or like even Fortnite's open world technically.
Bro, I frankly don't even think we have seen what an open world can be yet. I think the next generation of games is going to be even more open world. I know that sounds crazy, but like, I think that Starfield and even like Red Dead Redemption 2 right around the corner is going to like blow our fucking dick off. You know what I'm saying? With like how dense the fucking world. I don't think the worlds are going to get more spread out and bigger.
No.
I think they're going to get more populated and more full and rich, you know? And that's what I'm excited about. The ability to like have more detail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like little things, you know?
I think this next generation is going to be the generation that brings a lot. Okay, so kind of like the merge word works here too, but like the merging of consoles as well. You're going to have crossplay between everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we're already started. I mean,
yep, and it's like, but it's going to be the norm. You know, like it's going to be like, oh, I remember back whenever you couldn't play against somebody on PlayStation if you had an Xbox, or vice versa, and like it's just going to be normal. And then outside of that, though, but like in games, you know, maybe this will be the generation where you can go into any building that you see. You know, like we've been talking about that in Grand Theft Auto since we were kids. But like,
I really think we're on the verge of that. I think Cyberpunk might even deliver on that a little bit. I don't know. We might not, you know, but I think maybe.
I don't understand technology. I'm just guessing here because like I feel like, and if it's not you can go into every building, it's that everything seems alive. You know, like you're going to have like every little detail just like so defined in every game. Because, I mean, if you can't go up in graphical fidelity, the next best thing is, you know, just making the best of what you have. Like, you know, just taking it all the way. with just anything. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think a lot of it's going to come down to maintaining graphical fidelity while you're streaming and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
now that we've got it, how do we like implement it faster and give it to the people without having them download a 60 gigabyte file before they can play their game? You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what Xbox is supposedly doing. They have like some system in place. I saw in that same article.
Well, the one that downloads the important parts of the game faster.
No. This is supposed to be like it's supposed to have like way less latency and stuff like that. I don't understand what it is, but basically anybody, it's a lot like the Google Stream situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like and a Google Stream right here is showing you that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you can completely just stream something without downloading anything.
I mean, like I said, you know, PlayStation Now has been doing this for the past like year or two. You know what I mean?
But the latency's off.
It's not. It's really not. It's really good. My internet is absolute shit, and I can still do it.
Do you have to download parts of the game though?
No, not at all. You literally just boot the game up and it plays.
That's fucking crazy.
Any game on that fucking list. It's insane. That's what makes it better than Game Pass to me, and the fact that it's got like 650 games on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that blows my mind. But I think like next gen, that's going to be awesome to see as just like a normal thing, and it's going to be, you know, without all of its bugs and shit. And then also not only that, you know, fuck, it just blew my mind. Or not blew my mind, just fucking disappeared. I can't even remember what I was talking about. We were talking about
next gen consoles.
It's all that all that Rocket League just destroying my brain. No,
I definitely think the next generation of consoles is going to have a much bigger hard drive as like a standard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I don't think that will be an issue if you go strictly streaming, because
strictly
you're not
streaming. No, but I don't think everybody's going to bite on that. You know,
you don't think so?
I think that's why there will be two Xboxes. I think that they can't put all their eggs in the streaming basket just yet.
Yeah, they're,
you know what I mean?
Just kind of testing the waters.
So I think the Xbox Scarlet, or the one that ends up being the actual new Xbox, you know, is going to have like a fucking like at least 2 terabyte hard drive built in, at least, you know, because if all the games of the future are going to end up being like Red Dead Redemption 2 that are 110 gigabytes, you know what I mean? I mean, like, we're going to have to figure something out, you know? Like,
yeah, definitely. And I was thinking with what you were saying about being able to play games or backwards compatibility, they could pull a Nintendo, you know, and have like virtual console with their streaming, you know, like it could just be part of the online infrastructures that all these games are basically free to you if you pay the monthly subscription.
And I would be okay with that. I mean, that alone to me would be worth the monthly subscription.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Hopefully that is the case. Like, I mean, if it came down to it and you buy these consoles and you pay $50, like, or not, I would say more like it'd have to be like $25 to $30 a month, and you get all of this stuff, you know, like, I might cancel my Hulu. You know, I might cancel some other things, especially if like they add their own streaming
I was about to say, if they were
services.
to add some kind of like competitor to Netflix or something, then you could really put all your, you know, like that would make it like the next level shit. If they had something that could compete with Hulu or Netflix, you know what I mean, like,
which I feel like Microsoft has.
Microsoft's got the resources, but do they have will they? You know what I mean?
Would they even bother trying to go against Netflix? Yeah,
that's like, oh man, that's facing the giant right there.
It really is.
You know, I definitely think this is gonna sound crazy, but you know this new technology where you just slap your phone on top of a fucking like pad and it charges up?
Yeah. Oh, for controllers?
I think the next generation, you're just going to set your controller on top of your console and it's going to start charging. You know what I mean? Or something like that. You know what I mean? In close proximity of it. You know what I mean?
And I was thinking they need to like, basically, I don't think they should update the console controllers. Like, I feel like we're at a point where controllers are basically perfect.
They've pretty much got it down. Although I wouldn't mind some flashier shit, you know?
No, I was going to say they
throw
should
a screen on that bitch or something, you know?
I feel like that's not really necessary.
I want it, dude. I don't care. I want it to be flashy and shiny and beautiful.
Throw a screen on that bitch. I want a PlayStation hooked to my Xbox controller.
I need a plasma screen, a 50-inch plasma on my controller, bro.
And I need to be able to play Banjo-Kazooie on it. No, I want I think Elite controllers should be like standard. Like, you should get an Elite controller whenever you purchase an Xbox One. Or not Xbox One, Xbox 2, or same with PlayStation with don't they have like a similar controller?
No.
Well, they need to make
PlayStation one. Has the DualShock, and that's it.
I feel like
have any kind of official like pro customizable controllers or anything like that.
That's lame. Y'all need to step it up. Talking about
there's some like off-brand ones that are like it, but they don't have like an official one,
No, I want that Alexbox. No, that Xbox Elite controllers. I feel like they could do that. They could pull that.
I think another thing in the future that we're gonna see is like wireless everywhere, not just wireless controllers, but like wireless to the TV.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No way,
dude. I'm telling you,
no way.
We're getting there.
This next console, hell,
maybe
no.
not this. Maybe I don't know, dude.
That'd be like next gen.
I don't know, dude. I think it's gonna be like they're gonna have to pull out some stops, dude. Can you imagine? If you just plugged a little plug into your TV and plugged a little plug into your... You didn't even have to plug a little plug into your fucking console. It'd just be in the console,
Wait, what now?
Like, what if you just, like... Okay, I guess you'd have to plug it into the wall, but that's it.
And to the TV.
Nah, because they'd have some kind of futuristic technology where they're just sending the fucking shit to the TV.
They've just been like hiding out on this fucking future
I'm technology
you, bro, for Xbox
this
and PlayStation.
This is the future technology. It's going to happen. Mark my words.
I guess.
Mark my
like some
words.
AirPlay or some shit.
Mark my words. They're going to figure it out, dude. They're going to figure it out somehow.
We have implemented into our Xbox One the power of telekinesis. No, just kidding.
It's not that far out.
No,
man.
I know, but I just imagine like PlayStation's like, ours has a gun. Just like start building shit into it. No, but and as for like Xbox One specifically for me, I want to see a return to quality first party games and with frequent releases.
They're gonna have to, or they're gonna die on the fucking spike.
You never know.
Driven into the ground, you know what I mean?
And you never know with all these jumps in like coming up with these programs, or not programs, but these like packages and the software and all this bullshit. I think that they'll be fine.
They're gonna need some first party,
especially
titles.
If they throw out
some
like
good
VR.
First party titles. If they throw out VR, we might be talking.
That's what I'm saying. But like they have 2 consoles plus possibly VR coming.
You can have as many consoles as you want, but you have to have something to do with the consoles. It's the same problem they have with the Xbox One X right now.
No.
I mean,
you don't play games on the Xbox, okay? You just look at it. I mean, that's how I feel right now. But besides Rocket League, which is on everything, which is upsetting. But I wouldn't ever want to play it on Switch or anything because it just doesn't feel right,
Yeah, it would be kind of cool to have it on the go, though.
It's too competitive, though. I wouldn't want to play it on Switch.
That's how I feel about Fortnite.
Yeah, it's like that.
Let's see.
One last thing about next gen before, or I don't know if you're about to try and jump to something else.
No, what are you about to say?
I was gonna say, what about next gen handheld games? Like, what do we see? Do we see a new 3D or not 3DS, but a new DS? Or new PlayStation portable?
I don't think Nintendo is gonna do anything like that for a while. I think Sony recently got new leadership. And before that, they were talking about they're done with handhelds, and the new CEO is saying maybe that's not the case. You know what I mean? He's talking about, okay, there might still be room for Sony in the handheld market. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if anybody's going to take a stab at it again, I think it'll be Sony, because they've done it in the past with the Vita and the PSP, both. Weren't like hugely successful or anything, but they had their gems. Like, they were both good. Like, they weren't bad. They just didn't amass a following. I mean, they kind of did. There were some people that played them, but they weren't like, it wasn't a big deal.
What if what if like Microsoft came out of left field and they were like, no VR, but we have our first handheld console.
I wouldn't even be mad at that, and I think they could do well in a handheld space. You know?
Oh yeah, but see, my thing is I wish I could have seen what that would look like back in like 2007 or like earlier. You know, like whenever Xbox still had a very specific look to it. It wasn't like so like black and white. It had like the green and like all that stuff to it. You know, I want to see what that handheld would have looked like.
I hope if they ever do a handheld, it's kind of like an homage to that era.
I feel like it would come out and it look like an Apple tablet or something. Like,
right.
It wouldn't be anything like to be like, oh shit, look at the cool colors on this or anything like that. You know, it'd be very bland, just like everything.
That's the problem. I think if you wanted to do a sweet like handheld Xbox thing, you'd have to have one that's like capable of playing like just straight up Xbox One games. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Maybe like a Walkman with like fucking like fucking controllers on the side. I don't know.
It's just a boom box. Carry on your shoulder. No, I was gonna say, and then how do we? Or I want an answer to the used games problem. So like, if we are gonna go, you know, all digital or mainly digital, there's gonna be people that are going to be pissed that they can no longer buy used games and sell them back. You know, how do we fix that? Do we just lower prices on games in general? You know, like, which I know isn't going to happen because the games are only getting harder to make. So, I mean, like, yeah, with indies and like these lower budget games, for sure, they're cheap. You know, they're already cheaper. Their games are cheaper than they've ever been. But you look at like Assassin's Creed Origins. I actually saw an article the other day. I think somebody from Ubisoft was saying how like, yeah, games are going to get more expensive. Basically,
it's only natural. You got to hire more people, bigger teams, you know, to bring bigger experiences to people. I mean, people expect better and better as the years go on, and you know, with the ability to deliver that comes more man hours. You know, you look at a game like The Witcher 3 or something. You know, and you think, like, oh, it's beautiful, but you don't think that somebody put every blade of grass there, every leaf on every tree. You know what I mean? Like,
somebody got a divorce because of that game.
It was all created, like, by a team of people. And like, I don't know. You have to have a big team, you know? Like, if you want to put out a game that's, like, big and like luscious, you know. I mean, you can definitely make a game if you're just one guy. We've interviewed tons of people who've done it, and they make great games.
Yeah.
But if you want to have these like big, huge games, you know, at least if you don't want to spend your entire life making it, you need like a big team.
For sure. Well, and that's my thing though. Is like that's gonna happen though. You're gonna have these giant teams working on these first party titles, and also places like Ubisoft and EA, their games are always going to be, you know, these like top notch movie quality games. So my thing with that is like, if those do jump in price, say you're paying $75 a game instead of $69, how would that affect everything? I mean, but like I said, games, whenever it comes to indie games and stuff like that, are cheaper than they've ever been at new. You know, like you couldn't go buy a brand new game for $20 back in 2007. You know, it just wasn't a thing. But like now you have so many options. You can go indie, you can go for the higher budget games. But
even a lot of the higher budget games are going for a relatively cheap price, like
$39 and stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn's going for $20 standard right now.
Right now, yeah, but it's been out for a while. I'm talking about whenever games are new.
True. When it came out, it was like full price.
So what do you do in a completely digital landscape? Like, say you're not going to go out to the store and buy a physical copy anymore. Mm-hmm. So what do we do in that situation? How do they fix that? Because people want that. You know, people want the ability to buy used games and the ability to resell used games if they don't want that game anymore. I feel like you gotta implement that somehow into
but they don't though.
You don't think so?
I don't think they have to.
They don't have to,
You know what
but
I
I
mean?
feel like
Like,
it'll be easier.
People aren't going to just stop playing games if they do that. You know what I mean? And I think we're at a point where they can and will do that soon. You know what I mean? I think that video game stores are at the very end of their life cycle and will be gone within the next 5 years. As much as I hate to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it really makes me sad. But I mean, like, pretty soon they're just going to be selling consoles. And that's not going to be enough to, like, sustain themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's
companies like GameSpot are going to have to, like, move into other ventures. They're already trying, you know, with the Think Geek thing. You know? So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Man, it's going to be insane.
I think GameStop is going to get a name change again pretty soon. Because it used to be, what, like EB Games or something like that?
Well, GameStop bought EB Games.
Right.
Out.
Right, that's right. But, like, you know, all the EB Games turned into GameSpots. I think we're going to see GameSpot change the name to something less game-related, you know, like NerdSpot or something. And they're still going to sell consoles and stuff, you know?
Geek City.
Yeah.
No, I could see.
And these retro stores are going to take over the market, you know what I mean? The ones that are focused on, like, retro hard copies, you know what I mean? I bet they'll still function.
Oh, yeah, they'll be fine because they're basically pawn shops. You know, like,
that is
with
the only focus on games, yeah.
Well, not even only because they sell movies, too, you know?
True.
So, like, that's what makes them different. You can't
True.
go into GameStop and buy a movie.
It's true, you can't. Or sell a movie.
Or sell a movie. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so that's some stuff to think about on the next gen. Like, I'm pretty excited, honestly. I mean, I'm always excited for like whenever a new generation of consoles is coming.
Yeah.
I know it's like 2 years away before we actually see anything, but I'm still like the hype is palpable. Yeah. I'm like, it's right there.
I was talking to Matt about this last night, and I was like, you know, what do you think? And he was talking about how he misses on Xbox 360. There was a mode where you could queue up Netflix or something and, like, watch it with a friend on Xbox Live. You know, it's called theater mode or whatever. And, like, you could both sit there and watch the same movie and, like, pause it at the same... Like, you would push the button and it would pause it for both of you. You know what I mean?
That's the dopest thing ever.
I know. Isn't that cool? And I was thinking, like, you know, if VR really does take a big hold on the next generation, I think it'd be really cool to implement some kind of social space like that where everybody can come together and watch movies together and shit. And I don't know.
Yeah. With Mark Zuckerberg on it, you know that's going to happen.
Totally.
That's the end goal, I imagine. That's coming, man. Anyways, let's jump on over to the People's Champ.
The champion of the people.
I actually got a question from John, our boy Johnny.
Well, what do you got? Johnny is the People's Champ today?
Johnny is the People's Champ today.
All right, way to go, Johnny.
Okay. So, first off, before we jump into the question, just so you guys know, John Hightower, you can find him on Facebook. He plays music, and his name is Pinholder. That's his musical identity. That's what I'll call it. His moniker. Anyway, so he'll be playing a show at 12th Street on the 20th. If you're in Huntsville, Texas, at all, so go by and say what's up to John.
Yeah.
And
12th Street Bar, not the street 12th Street.
Yeah. Wait, what is it? Say that again.
12th Street Bar.
12th Street Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't just go to 12th Street and be like, oh, where's the show?
There's no bar. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The bar is called 12th Street Bar. It's over by where like Stardust used to be.
I mean, in case you're from out of town or something. Yeah. No, it's where Josie's used to be.
Okay. So yeah, any of y'all Huntsville people, you would know exactly what we're talking about. So go check him out. His question though, podcast question, scenario: a new Gex comes out for Xbox.
Oh shit!
Gex was a lizard that you play through a two-dimensional side scroller. I think he's saying it for everyone else.
Oh, okay.
Through a two-dimensional side scroller, and he would crack jokes through the entirety of the game. You get to choose who plays his voice and writes the jokes. Who do you think would be the funniest? So
first of all, the Gex that I played was on Nintendo 64 and was not a two-dimensional side scroller.
Yeah, it was 3D.
Was fucking 3D platformer. It was dope. If you haven't played it, you got to go get it.
Now, if you want to write a funny funny game. I like that idea of like finding somebody who would we put.
I'll tell you right now.
To helm this game's writing.
Tim Schafer.
I don't want a game writer. He's funny, but he's not like funny. Like I want someone who's just like funny, dude. Like so fucking funny. Like I want like since he's talking just straight jokes and comedy. Like what if we got like Chris D'Elia to write the game?
Oh, that could be funny.
Like I don't
for Gex.
For Gex. That's the thing. We're bringing it to a modern age here. We're bringing it to the kids.
I can see Chris D'Elia, or whatever his name is, D'Elia, being Gex, but not directing. You know what I mean? Like I can see him doing the voice of it.
I don't want him directing it. I just want him writing it. Writing the jokes and the humor that happens throughout the game.
Yeah.
Or
I just think he'd be a funny voice character. Like, he kind of looks like a gecko, you know?
And since it's like based on like, you know, it had like very movie like focused jokes and stuff like that. What if you got the masters of already doing that type of shit, Key and Peele, to write it, to write out the scenes and stuff.
You can't go wrong with Key and Peele.
I think that would be good.
I wish they would just bring that show back. That was such a good show.
Oh yeah, dude. So who do you think?
I told you, Tim Schafer.
Tim Schafer. That's it. Right? He's doing voices and jokes and.
No, he's. I put him in charge of everything. He can make all the executive decisions. But Tim Schafer would be in charge of that shit.
I like that. Okay. All right. Thanks, John. Brent, what else we got here? I know we got some real serious.
We got some really serious questions. Really provocative, thought-provoking questions. We've got Anthony Hernandez. He says, do you think that video games coming out now are more violent than games y'all grew up on? Or is it just because graphics make it more noticeable? No, they're definitely more violent, I feel like. Well, I don't know. It depends. Depends on what game. Like, Manhunt was pretty violent. Punisher was pretty violent, you know?
Mortal Kombat was always really violent.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it's probably just the graphics.
Doom. You know, it's like games tried to be violent, but they could only do so much. They tried their best.
They tried to give you the gore.
You know, but it was just like red splotches. Conker's Bad Fur Day, you know, like...
Yeah, okay, yeah. Games have always been pretty violent. And
Alice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's tough out there.
Yeah, even going far back, you know, there's like all kinds of shit, like Castlevania,
which was violent. It wasn't super bloody or anything, but I mean,
yeah, the concept though was dark.
It was dark. Yeah, it was very whippy.
We've got Stephanie Rayleigh. She says, "What is the meaning of life?"
That's a tough one. You know, like I feel like we could figure the answer to that out. I'm actually listening to this book. Stephanie, I'm listening to it, audiobook. I don't read. I do read, but this one specifically, I had to go audio. It's by Shawn Carroll. He's a physicist, and this book is called, or not. I don't remember what it's called actually, because it's like a 9-word title. But it's like talking about the meaning of life through quantum physics and all this stuff. Super interesting. If you want to know the meaning of life, no one has the answer. But this guy has some stuff, you know, that you can kind of ponder on and you know, be really depressed about. Like every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, life is meaningless. Thank you, Shawn Carroll.
I feel like the meaning of life is just to enjoy yourself as much as possible before you die.
That too. That's good way to live.
Maybe that's not what life's actual meaning is, but as long as you live that way, you live with some sort of meaning. You know what I mean?
That's true. I feel like I try to live that way.
Yeah.
I feel like
nobody can always live that way, but it's good to make an effort, you know?
I feel like if I could live any one way, if I could have the meaning of life, I would be Lil Wayne. Like I feel like he gets it. Like he gets the meaning of life, you know?
Yeah.
He's just so happy all the time.
Yeah.
Even though he's a like gangster rapper, like he's just like the happiest.
He does
dude.
seem like he's always in a good mood. You know, even whenever there's like the videos from him in prison and shit, he seemed like he was pretty high spirits. You know,
like yeah, man, that's
lazy. We've got Kyle McAvoy who says, "Who is this?" and then put a picture of looks like Mario on a keychain. For those of you at home on YouTube, I can't get it close enough.
Yeah,
but...
you were like showing it to the webcam. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Maluigi, Lumario.
Lumario.
Yeah,
definitely.
it's a Lumario. It's a
Mario.
Mario with green hat.
Waluigi.
Luigi.
Wheezy. Chad McLean says, "Why can't I fly?"
Well, there's this book. No, I'm just kidding. No. I don't know. I've always wondered that too. I mean, I think we're just too heavy, man.
Yeah, it's the facts. You know, if our bone density was a little lighter, and we had wings,
or filled with helium.
Yeah, if we just like drink a fuckload of helium.
Can you drink helium?
I mean, what are you supposed to call it when you suck up
you
helium?
Vape it, dude.
We should just inhale it. Yeah, I guess so.
We should put a bunch of helium in like some vape pens and then see what happens.
This is the best idea ever. Nothing bad could possibly happen if we did that.
We do not promote the idea of putting helium in vape pens. Don't do that. But if you want to fly, you should.
Let's see. We got Christy Valentine here, and she says, "How are babies made?" Well, Christy, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very, very much, they fuck, and babies are produced.
Yeah. I don't know how long it takes for the baby to become produced. Is it 9 months from the time you fuck, or is it 9 months from the time you find out that you're pregnant? Like, I don't know.
I think it's 9 months from the moment you
Just
from the moment the semen begins swimming towards the egg. Or hits the egg. You know?
I feel like it's got to be fertilized.
As soon as it hits the egg, bam, the 9 month window has started. I think
it looks at its little fucking
I could be
watch.
Totally wrong about that, but I'm almost sure.
Is it always exactly 9 months?
No, not at all.
Okay. I don't know how babies
sometimes
work.
It's longer, sometimes it's like way less, you know. You ever heard somebody be like, "Oh, it was a premature birth"?
Oh,
you know?
yeah, okay. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Sorry to all you premature babies.
So
are they like overdue babies?
Yeah, dude.
They get cooked a little too long.
Yeah, dude. That's why they'll have like C-sections, so like babies don't get too big up in there.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how big a baby could technically get inside of a human body.
I saw this I was watching the Olympics one year, and
I don't want to know where this is going.
And there were these two dudes wrestling, right? And one of the guys was huge, and they said that whenever he was born, he weighed like 15 pounds or some shit like that.
15 pounds?
Yeah.
It's like the size of a small dog.
That's what I was saying. It's like a fucking like toddler. Like, what the fuck?
That's intense. I think I weighed 10 pounds when I was born.
Dude, that's pretty wild.
I was
10
a
pounds?
fat-ass baby,
That's a big
dude.
baby right there.
I literally, I have a picture of me as an infant, like, 4 days after I was born, and I look like fucking Mini-Me from Austin Powers. Like,
that's
no lie.
Oh, jeez.
But anyways.
Full beard, just like...
That's how babies are born.
We got another one from Kyle McAvoy.
What's up, boy?
He says, "Is Sonic the Hedgehog a legendary Super Saiyan?"
Yes, technically.
Yeah, well, sometimes he is.
Yeah.
So you notice, like, sometimes he's blue, right? And then sometimes he goes
gold.
Super Saiyan,
Yeah,
dude. His fucking hair blows up in the air and shit, and he flies around. You notice he flies around.
Supersonic, dude.
He's Super Saiyan. He has the ability to go Super Saiyan. Now, I don't know about legendary Super Saiyan, but I know he can at least go Super Saiyan 1. You know what I mean? Like,
Super Saiyanic.
his power level's like 4,500 at least. You know what I mean?
I don't even know. I think it's got to be over 9,000. 4,500.
You know, I mean, I'm giving, Sonic will probably get smacked up by,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I would like to see him take on, like, Majin.
Goku.
God.
Sonic is just...
Dude, Sonic could do it. They have similar hair.
He's fast.
Very fast.
I'll give him that.
I remember, like, video games and, like, whenever I was a kid trying to understand that lore wasn't a real thing. But, like, I remember somebody told me, like, Sonic once, like, ran around the Earth, like, in a second or something like that. And for some reason in my brain, I was like, how did they know? Or, like, how did they do it? Like, I had to sit there and think about it. And then, like, a couple years later, I was like, wow, you're stupid. I was, like, really little, though. I remember it was, like, at the playground in, like, kindergarten or something. Somebody was telling me that. Like, yeah, Sonic can run around the planet in a second. I was like, it's fucking cool. And I was like, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it on, like, a movie or something. Like, I thought, like, there
Sonic
was, like,
just running around the planet in 1 second.
Yeah, I thought there was, like, this history.
I'm pretty sure that kid just totally, I mean, like...
Just made that shit out. He was a Sega kid.
There's definitely no evidence that Sonic can run around the evidence in 1 second.
The evidence.
Run around the planet.
That's what that kid
second.
did. Ran right around.
Ran right around the evidence. You should have been like, show me, kid. Show me the proof.
Show me the money. Okay.
That's the thing. Before phones, you could just say whatever you wanted to and get away with it.
I know.
And everybody would just believe you.
Well, I mean, I was so little. I don't know. My bad. No, but anyways.
I'm just saying, in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what you're saying. It was a whole different time. I miss those days. And that's like back in the day whenever, like, your friend's parents could, like, tell you some bullshit story and, like, you just instantly believe it, Like, what was the one? Your dad's friend told us that story about the Wolfman. Yeah, and, like, dude, that fucking scared the shit out of us.
We stayed up all night waiting for my dad to come and try to scare us dressed as the Wolfman.
And he never did. Like, so it was like the biggest fake out ever. Like, I was so scared all night. Literally, I didn't sleep. I remember the next day being like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking tired.
That's so funny.
But all we would have had to do was pull out our phones and realize that wasn't a true story. Yeah. Nowadays. Yeah. So weird. Anyway, so let's jump into this week in gaming history. Brent, take us back.
I'm about to take y'all back. Way back to 1997. September the 30th, 1997 to be exact.
What console are we talking here?
On the PC, baby. Mac, DOS, baby.
Mac, PC. Was it Half-Life?
No, dog.
Was it hold on, I got this Mother Goose.
No, dog.
What was it?
It was the original Fallout.
I would have never guessed that. I didn't know it came out in 1997. That's awesome, though.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? 21 days later, the original GTA came out. So you got 2 games that basically, like, by the third game, were taken and completely changed into the franchises we know today and recognized and generally loved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
kind of ironic that they were both launched around the same time.
It is pretty ironic. I feel like PC was always, like, just waiting to give us, like, this crazy future. You know what I'm saying? Like, they knew what was capable. I feel like all of us, like, on SNES and NES, we're just like, yeah, this is great. And, like, had no idea that one day we were just going to, like, turn on the N64 and just be like, you know, but anyways, remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content here on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. It's all one word. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Aljaafreh Jamal and Brent at BrentHas1. That's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners, later.